We're recording on the computer, so this is um, what's your idea all about your profession shows. Kelly Mitchell is the guest this morning. Today is Saturday morning, and thank you first for accepting the invitation.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
Okay, so I looked at your profile last week. I didn't look at it this week, but it was kind of interesting because I saw so many titles. So you do many things. Which is your most active activity, or do you do a little bit of all activities?
Well, I do a lot with everything. I'd say mostly writing is always the undercurrent. And it's just writing can be a little slow when you have so much you want to talk about, which is why I probably do podcasting second, because it's just a lot faster to get information out there.
Okay, so I never, I mean, I don't know if you want to consider this a podcast, but I never experienced podcasting. I mean, I do have YouTube channels, I do have websites, and I do air on Channel 29. But podcasting is getting so popular this year because of the pandemic last year that everybody's doing it, and it's mostly, I know it could be audio and video, like with the Andrew Yang podcast. But do you do video and audio or just audio?
When I'm a guest, I do both, but for the most part, I do audio because my niche is to have a podcast that's probably 20, 25 minutes. And it's for those busy people that wear a lot of hats every day, have a lot of personalities that they show every day.
Um,
And I want them to be able to drive to the grocery store or drop their kids off at daycare and just have something to take away and fill their conversational arsenal for when they get to go outside.
okay. And what's the name of your podcast?
It's playing devil's advocate.
Ooh, yeah. That's you're about the right age to do that. I used to play the devil's advocate when I was very young, like in my 30s. But
Oh, thank you for
I
calling me
know,
young.
no, but it's a good hobby to play the devil's advocate. I mean, it's fun, even in your 20s, because you want to have a aggressive conversation with the person. So, so you play the devil's advocate. Is your background in law?
Oddly, it's in psychology and criminal justice. So
Okay, okay.
I love forensic psychology. I love the criminal mind and I think it was either, be one or catch them. So,
Oh, okay, okay. No, because when you have a background in law, you want to challenge the opponent, and you do have to take the opposite side, or else what's the use of being a defense attorney or a prosecutor? You gotta take the opposite side, right?
yes, I think it's fun to explore and it challenges people.
Yeah. So let's say, but when you do your podcast, you take your own views, or you just simply take the opposite view.
I take my own views, which just happen to be usually outside mainstream.
Oh, okay. Okay. So are you leaning more to the right?
I like to think myself as a libertarian because
Oh,
I tend to bounce back and forth.
yeah.
Um, to me, it really doesn't matter who the leadership is as long as they represent the best of us. I can't say that right now. So there's a
Actually, you do look like the libertarian candidate of last year. I bet you followed her too. Did you vote for that woman, Joan? I think.
um this time I voted for Trump, and there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that come with that, but to me I kind of picked the lesser of two evils.
Okay, because I voted for the Libertarian because I didn't like the two other candidates, the main ones. And I know she
Yeah,
didn't have a chance to win, but
yeah,
I watched a couple videos of her online saying, do whatever you feel is the right thing to do, kind of thing. And
yeah. I just wish
yeah,
she could have gotten more backup on that, you know?
and they didn't give her any media coverage, so there was no way
No,
she was going to make it.
right. It was not, you know, she should have been on the stage in the debates, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and she had a good VP, and she had good points and everything,
Yes.
but there was nobody knew who she was basically,
Yeah,
except if
it's
they search for her name on YouTube like I do.
yeah, yeah. And it's, you know, it's not fair and it's not right. And that's why I think leadership really has to look at their behavior. Because if you have a narcissistic leader, you can't really expect the people to act any different. They're
Okay,
being encouraged to.
so if we Google, I mean, on YouTube, if we do a search on you, should we search Kelly Mitchell or should we search the name of your podcast?
I probably wouldn't be on YouTube because my podcast is mostly audio.
Okay,
I'm
and
sure
what?
I'm there in some places.
Okay, so should we search podcast by Kelly Mitchell then?
Yeah, and I'm in Apple, on Spotify, our iHeartRadio.
Oh,
Um, I show up everywhere.
oh, do you have to pay to be on Spotify?
No, no. Most shows you can submit your show for free. And so it's they make it really easy for podcasters to be out there, which is good during COVID because I think everybody's trying to keep their sanity, which is why I think everybody's starting podcasts. So they
Okay,
allow you
okay.
to keep
No,
your
I thought
sanity.
maybe it was paid service because a lot of celebrities are doing it with pay. I
Yes,
mean,
there are some paying platforms, but most are free. Um, it's the creating your podcast. A lot of those aren't free. There's like two or three that allow it to be free, but then the other ones charge you a monthly fee just to create it and host it.
okay, no, like Oprah and Meghan and Harry and all those celebrities.
Oh yeah.
When they have a podcast, they get paid a lot of money. Therefore, where's the revenue going to come from, right?
Oh yeah, they have an army of editors too, I'm sure. And promoters and everything else. So yeah, they've got the bucks to do it really nice.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if Andrew Yang is on Spotify, but he might be. I know he
I
has
don't
a
know.
regular weekly podcast. But anyway, I have the feeling he's going to win New York. Are you in New York, by the way?
No, I'm in Las Vegas.
Oh, it was completely shut down for a while.
It was. A lot of places were. I mean, we're just starting to open up over on the strip, but a lot of places went out of business. So we'll have to
Oh,
see
yeah, because
what comes of that.
entertainment died during COVID,
And we are the entertainment capital of the world. So it blew through us for a loop.
especially the hotel industry and all that was dead.
Yes, because I mean that's where our movies, I mean, even the locals, they go there to go see their movies
Yeah.
and the restaurants. And
Yeah, I
when you
went to
don't
Las
have that,
Vegas a couple times, and that's all it was about gambling and entertainment at night, and just get
yeah.
away from their own place, whatever. A lot of people used to drive from California to Las Vegas just to go gamble. But
Oh, they still did, yeah, for a long time. And I mean, you get away from the strip and you have that sense of community and everything that you wouldn't expect to be here, but it is. But
um,
you get towards the strip, it's all entertainment.
oh yeah, yeah, and I guess tourism is coming back now that everybody's vaccinated. I mean, two-thirds of the country has had their first shot. So everybody's going to head to Las Vegas again, and you'll have work again. What kind of work you did in that industry?
Well, my business closed because of COVID.
Which was?
I did HOA foreclosures.
Oh,
So, you
foreclosures.
know,
So a
yeah, I
lot of
was like
people.
really well liked.
So basically, when people foreclose their hotel or home, they can contact you.
It was specific, it was for homeowners associations.
Okay.
So if people didn't pay their assessments, we could come in and foreclose.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, so you were on the other side, not the seller side.
right, right.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I did for years, a decade.
Okay. Okay. So you had to deal with people headaches.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's interesting though is I dealt with people from all walks of life, which
Yeah.
kind of helped my writing and it helped
Because
the
it could happen to
podcast.
anybody to lose their job. It could happen to anybody to not be able to make a payment, whatever, because of a change of contracts or whatever is the income coming from. So I
Right.
can
So it's
so I can
everybody.
understand it could happen to anyone at every level of life. Yeah. So,
Yes.
but the good news is Las Vegas is very inexpensive, and people went there because they worked from home and they were able to get a cheap rental.
Yes, absolutely. And now I see it coming back to life. I see the breath coming back. So I see a lot of job postings and I
Yeah,
see the
here
casinos
too.
at 100%. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, here too. All the interns are coming back. They were not coming back for a year. It was completely the rentals went down 25%, and now they're coming back to San Francisco from Canada, from all over. So we're happy about that.
That's
Um,
awesome. The
yeah,
one thing I don't know about is I don't think commercial buildings are going to fill up the way that they used to.
no, they're still empty,
Um,
by the way, just in case you want to know.
right. And they
The
are
big
here
one are
too.
still, the big skyscrapers are still empty.
Yeah.
And
I
even
think
even if they reopen, they're gonna reopen only 10%. They said.
I think we're going to have like a Resident Evil situation where they turn into hives where people, they're going to convert and people are going to live and work and, shop and eat everything in those commercial buildings since they won't fill up like they used to. So,
Exactly. So they're considering transforming a lot of these empty offices into affordable housing, but I don't think it's a good idea because you don't mix business with, you know,
no, it's
living.
got the beginnings of a sci-fi movie. It really does.
Yeah, because who wants to go on the 48th floor to live,
No,
Because
I've never seen a good movie like that.
and who wants to check with security every time they go home?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I want to eat, live, work, play all in the same
Same
place. I
place.
mean,
Yeah, I
yeah.
heard a lot of people slept in their office if they lost their job, whatever, and they didn't have anywhere to go. But you know, they were faced with a lot of challenges during COVID. So I know the major companies like Google and Facebook and Salesforce, they're telling their employees keep on working from home even after you get vaccinated because it's working for us. We don't have to pay for office space, and it's working for you because you don't have to do the commute. So
Right, it's cheaper. So I don't see them filling back up.
no, they're not. 76% of their employees said they rather work from home. So they have
Yeah.
to deal with the other 24% who are single and want to meet new people and they want to go back to the office.
Yes.
But
So
the
I'm,
mother at home with two kids, she wants to stay home.
yeah, they're probably going to have to create some hybrid type of schedule for those people that want to maybe do half and half, like, 2 or 3 days in the office and the rest at home.
Which is happening now, which is happening. People
Yeah.
go 1 day, 2 days, that's it. And only the executive would go regularly for their meetings, you know, um, if they want to, because they are not on the clock. But they probably have strategic sessions that they want to meet in person. Not over Zoom is good, but you cannot really really get a feel of the meeting. You know, what the dynamics of the meeting are different on Zoom.
Yeah, you can't really share documents as easily. Plus, those cat Zoom videos come up, with the cat in one of the boxes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you see the Earth
Yeah.
Day video, the Zoom video with the head of states?
Yeah.
It was really hilarious. They didn't know. I
Yeah.
mean, they didn't know how to work their technology. So sometimes someone was looking, sometimes was on mute. Those head of states, they always rely on someone else to do those things for them.
Right. So they don't want to end up on a blooper reel, somewhere.
So it was hilarious. I remember I saw a clip of Putin. He didn't know he was on camera, and another clip of the head of state. He was muted and he kept on talking. And so all these things are really not really good. I mean, next Earth Day should be in person. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I think so too.
to save the planet. I don't know if you are into those causes.
I'm into sustainability big time.
Yeah, yeah. So that
Yeah.
was the meeting was about, and and more.
Yeah.
Policies and solar and all that. So so I know I like sustainability because I do post a few. Um, I had my Facebook, I had like 5,000, and then Facebook decided during the election to close about 26 million accounts, um,
Oh,
because a lot
yeah.
of them were one sided or another. And they decided to, and a lot of accounts were hacked too. So they decided to simply close them. And I did start a new one, but I'm not going to build it because why should I build it if they make the decision to close it?
Yeah. And that's the interesting thing because there's supposed to be a posting board, not a moderator, not a
Yeah,
media.
right now it's totally
They're a
moderated.
post board.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally moderated now. But
They're
it's
they're
true
not
that
operating like one.
a lot of accounts get people with the fake picture. They
Yeah.
get admitted in someone's Facebook, and then they start creating a havoc, And
Yes.
you say, how
Yes.
could that person do this to me? And you have to remove them one by one.
Yeah. I mean, that I understand, but the whole censorship of a posting board just that's a
Change.
pet peeve.
They have a
That's
lot of new policies now. You cannot post about COVID. You cannot post about, new COVID medicine. You cannot post anything that is not proven to work. So only what's accepted by the government is acceptable, and even that is not really acceptable. But anyway, so you write a lot. Did you write a book?
yeah, I wrote two books within 3 months of each other. So and I'm on my third. One of them is about how to make homes better, and it's kind of like a comedic walkthrough of the history of why things are the way they are.
Yeah,
And the other one is on educational reform in order to focus more on financial literacy, critical thinking, life skills, and to kind of allow us to prosper as a nation.
did
Because
you
right
send
now
that
we're
book
just,
to the Department of Education? I mean,
I sent
they
him a copy,
um, no,
but
because
it's just not
they make the
relevant.
decision about what to teach or what not to teach.
Yeah, I think more has to be included, more service learning and civic duty, because we've
Yeah,
lost our connection to the community, and these are our bosses, our mentors. It's how education stays relevant is by being in tune with the community, and it's also how you learn leadership and mentorship is by working hands-on. So I really think they need to introduce a 30-hour course from ninth grade on to work out in the community and give services like fixing cars for people that can't afford it,
yeah.
things like that, to elevate the community and to have a vested interest in the community, and learn skills they're not going to learn in the classroom.
That is a good idea. Just like they do in dental school, they take people who cannot afford it. Although now dental school are more expensive than dentists.
Yeah,
But I
crazy
mean,
expensive.
no, I mean, if you go to have your teeth cleaned in the dental school, it's more expensive than that regular. They tell you it's less, but it's not. It's more expensive there.
Well, that
To
doesn't
get,
sound like an investment in community.
I know, I know. Like I went to dental school to do root planning, deep scale cleaning, and it was 200 per quadrant, and my dentist does the whole mouth for 200. So it's not the real deal, because when
That's
they
not
get out of
realistic.
school, they want to get paid even more than that.
Oh, that's not realistic. I think
Yeah,
when you're earning and you're gaining that experience, the community should benefit from it because you're getting benefit from it. It's
exactly. And then they get the idea as students that in the real world they can charge maybe 800 per course, and
yeah.
to pay off their student loan, because it's huge when you're a dentist. Um, when you're in dental school, you can end up with $600,000 bill to pay when you finish or more. And they to in their idea they is, if the school is so expensive, then I can charge whatever price I want to pay it off.
Yeah, it's not realistic. And these kids, they're walking into college, I mean, basically owing debt because we're getting kids ready for college and not life. So they're not really making a conscious decision of their higher education. They're just, oh, well, college is something that we do. Um, and it's the way that the higher education is set up. It's just
Yeah,
the
because they pay
prices are
so much.
unrealistic.
Yeah, they pay so much for higher education that when they
Yeah.
get out, when they graduate, they want start salary at 22 years old of 125,000 to pay off their debt. And the only people who can afford to take them, to take a 22-year-old at 105,000 are the big tech companies.
Right.
Yeah,
The debt should not be that high for them to
yeah,
pay off, which is
yeah.
kind of what I go into
They
in the
still
book.
have to pay their bills, and on top of that, pay their student loan. And even our new president, who is very liberal, doesn't want to pay off student loans. He says it's impossible. It's too much.
It really is too much, and it kind of does an injustice to those that have paid their student loans. And Social Security here is going to be gone by 2035. And a lot of people said, well, why don't we take our Social Security and pay it off? Well, that's why. I mean, it's already dwindling. So that's why my book kind of addresses why people need to be financially literate, why they need to have critical thinking, why they need to get some of those transferable skills, from degree to degree, because you can teach the workable skills, but what you can't teach is some of those other skills, like STEM skills are huge, and you should have that plus whatever degree you're going into. Um, and just
What do you mean by
using
STEM skills?
that's your science, your math,
Oh,
things like those are the core that need to be
okay,
taught.
okay.
Because you can teach every other relatable skill while you're on the job. And I think the business community needs to step up. They know what they need. And instead of spending, 4 years for college to be an associate assistant,
Yeah,
you should be able to walk right in the position after high school, because in your service learning that you have these
you
job
can learn
skills,
on the job.
and you networked and you worked in the community. And so people know you and they can hire you, and they can, businesses can actually, pay for these certificate courses that you need while you're working with them.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
that's what
But
you wanted to do in life, you shouldn't have to go to an 8-year school and get all that debt when you don't
yeah, but
need
all
it.
these high tech and big corporations, they won't even look at your resume if you don't have a BA, a 4-year degree. And
I think that's
it
changing.
it is a little bit changing after Elon Musk said um, it's not necessary to have a degree to be successful in your job or entrepreneurship. But it's changing very slowly. Now the HR people still require that 4-year piece of paper, but just to be on the safe side, they're not hiring uh, someone who doesn't know anything, at least
Yeah.
writing skills, they care about that.
And the
Um,
communication and critical thinking, those are the two things that employers want that they're not getting out of college grads.
oh, are they getting it at high school? No.
No, nope. It only gets, worse from high school. We've kind of just we've lowered our standards as far as communication and healthy debate and constructive dissent. We don't know how to do those things anymore.
And I
Um,
think the problem is a lot of families have less and less kids, like only one or two, and therefore the
yes,
child is not exposed to debate with his brothers and sisters and a big family like it used to be. So they lack the communication skills, and their way to cope is to simply be introvert. They're afraid to say the wrong thing.
right. And in today's society, saying the wrong thing comes with big consequences.
Yeah, like you're fired.
Yeah. And that's why again I think service learning and virtues, because it teaches virtues and it teaches you how to work with relationships. I think that can start young. And entrepreneurship, I mean, I've got two kids under 13 that are entrepreneurs. It's a
Oh,
big gig economy out there. So I think
did
those
you teach
lessons have to
them
be
that,
there.
or they wanted to do it?
They wanted to do it. I mean, my
Really?
daughter has more followers than I do.
Oh my
And
goodness.
my son, he does like Nerf gun reviews, which ones are the best to buy, which shoot better. I mean, it's kids are creative,
That's
and I think
awesome.
those skills need to be there.
Oh, that's awesome. I noticed that more and more people are getting on, teenagers are doing well on Instagram. I have a lot of followers, more than adults, um,
Yeah.
because they know what ticks their crowd, the teenage crowd, and they
And they have
know,
fun at it. I
and
mean, my
they're
kids are
fun.
having a blast, and my daughter wants to use her influence to create a puppy shampoo, because I guess all the ones they smell too medical or something. So she wants her dog
Pets
smelling
are
like
big
flowers.
now. Yeah, pets are big on Instagram. Yeah, pet products, pets is growing. They have a new corporation, Chewy now. It's very popular. But yeah, because people can't afford children, they have pets.
Yeah, right. So
Because there's more dogs than children in the United States, and probably over 100 million cats. So in the United States, so it's a huge, huge um, population of pets that there's a huge market for it. I mean, we need to address that. So your daughter
yeah,
is doing the right thing.
yeah. I mean, now she just needs to learn her little entrepreneurship skills and learn how to market and everything. So I'm thinking by 5th or 6th grade, they should have some entrepreneurship courses with some basic social marketing. I mean, the kids, they're all over it.
Oh
So
yeah,
that would
yeah,
make, yeah, that would make education, a little more relevant for
yeah.
today.
There's an organization in California that goes to high schoolers and teach them entrepreneurship. I don't know if it's a 4 week or 8 week, but it's like 1 hour after school.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if it's in all the states, but some people are starting to get the idea that we should teach these kids how to be entrepreneurs,
They enjoy it.
and
So yeah.
they feel a sense of duty to do good, and I mean a sense of purpose to do whatever they're doing. I mean, especially if they care about the product they are um, promoting and all that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. So you do the podcast on Spotify. The others I'm not familiar with. Did you say there's another podcasting company?
Oh yeah, there's it's on Apple
Oh,
and
Apple. Okay. Apple.
yeah, and FM radio and Google, the player platform there. It's also on iHeartRadio. Also on Good Pods is an app that it's on. it's pretty much it's everywhere that you can listen to iTunes or music,
You
or
can be on.
podcasts is
You
there.
can be on. And how
Yes.
often you do your podcast? Every morning when you get up?
I reserve a couple of days to actually record, and
Oh,
then I schedule releases. So that way it's
oh, okay.
easier on my schedule, and I can work out 6 weeks ahead, which like helps me a lot. So I have my time to write and blog and all that.
Oh, that's smart. I mean, a lot of talk show hosts do it that way. They s- they tape for a month and then they take a break. Yeah,
Yeah. It leaves
that,
room for, vacations or going to the strip and gambling all my money.
yeah. Did you ever try gambling?
I take like $100 maybe every
The
3 months and go
max.
gamble. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
just to release the stress of money. It's good to say, okay, I can give away 100 without having to
yeah,
worry about it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
consider it being spent before I leave the house. I mean, you have to,
yeah, yeah. Plus, it
it.
creates jobs for the people who work in these places. So it's like a donation for you.
Yeah, we got to
It does,
support our community.
yeah, it does create jobs. I mean, some people don't look at it that way, but it does create the waitress and the maintenance people and the janitors and all that. So,
Yeah,
um, so that's good. So you close to the strip now? I mean, you live close by?
I'm about 40 minutes away from it. I
Oh,
can see
okay.
it. So if I walk out in my backyard, I can see all the tall buildings, but yeah, I'm about 40 minutes away.
Oh, so you're the residential area then.
Yeah, I'm in the burbs.
Okay, so as long as there's a quick bus that goes there, it's okay.
Yeah.
And
And there is a lot of the communities have them. They'll have their day of, today's casino day. And I've seen a lot of people, go on
they
their bus
get
for the
together
day.
and they go have a good time together. It's just socializing probably.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing what the locals are up to and seeing all the tourists and
I know because to be confined at home during COVID, some people felt isolated.
yes.
I
Yeah.
didn't
And
because I went out every day when everybody was home every day. I mean, every day I went out during when it was sunny, and most days in San Francisco are not rainy. So I was out every day. Even when it was raining, I would just take an umbrella. But I cannot stand being home all day. I just went out despite the rules that we have. But I did go home at curfew, 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. I did respect the curfew though. I mean, as soon as it got dark, I went home.
yeah, luckily my backyard is like super nice. So I spent like a lot of time out there.
Oh yeah, you
So
can work from your backyard. You put your Wi-Fi. I'm sure your Wi-Fi works there and everything.
yeah,
And
so
you're
that
lucky
that
to
was
be
good.
in Las Vegas because the weather is warm.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's about to get too hot, but I'm enjoying it right now. The 70s and 80s, my favorite kind of weather.
Yeah, you can sunbathe in your backyard if it's private, I guess. So it was nice chatting with you. I don't know if I touch on all your hats. I know you wear different hats. You're a mother, you're a podcaster, an educator, a writer. Did I miss something?
Um, I don't think so. We did talk a little bit about the business and the entrepreneurship
Oh,
and
that's good. And you're an
um
entrepreneur now
yeah.
because you have your own podcast. Hopefully, it will, boom.
Yeah.
If you do the right social media. And anyway, it was nice talking to you. Are you going to be on Instagram? Do you have an Instagram?
I do. It's at musing around LV.
Okay, let me write that. Musing, MUSIN,
And NG.
NG,
Um, and then around
around,
LV for Las Vegas.
music
So I'm
around
like,
LV. Okay, I'll join your Instagram.
oh,
It will, it,
awesome. Looking
it will
forward to
come,
it.
it will come from French American TV in one word. So I'll just click follow. Anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for your participation in What's Your Idea. Thank you very
Ah,
much.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.